Yo, yo, yo.
Hello, hello. We are live. We are live on
Woo!
all
Let's
call
go.
us platforms. Hold on, let me tell you that you loud on my end. Lord.
Yeah. What's happening?
What is up,
What's
everybody? Great evening, great evening, great evening, everybody. Great evening.
happening?
What is
Yeah. Got the
you
we
got I
we
about to say
live
you got a little
everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We
Lord
just
Jesus.
on the big screen too. You feel me?
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, great evening, everybody. Great evening. Uh-oh. Hold on.
Who
Let
that?
me
Who that?
check.
Who that?
That was me. Well, great evening, everybody. Great evening, Facebook. Great evening, LinkedIn. Great evening, YouTube. Great evening, Instagram. All
Yeah.
y'all. We got everybody
Yeah.
up in the house.
Yeah.
This
We
is
out here. We out
good.
here. Know what I'm saying?
Dope, dope. Well, guys, I am so happy. We're going to just go ahead and jump right into it. Tonight, we are literally giving you guys the game. Like everything that we have in the barrel, we about to just let it go. All right. So with that all having been said, let me go ahead and pull up our screen real quick for y'all. Whoop. All right, there
Oh,
we
now I can
go.
see it. Yeah. I see
Hey.
it earlier. That's fine.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey. Well, let's go ahead and kick it off. Good sir. You can take it
Let's go,
away.
let's go, let's go. Listen, welcome to the call. Welcome to the call. Where y'all about to get so much Airbnb game. Can you say for free? You know what I'm saying? For free, please
Oh my
believe me.
god.
You know what I'm saying? So let's dive into it. So, what you'll learn today, who we are and our journey. Of course, we're gonna talk about goals, how to get started, how to get your business started, finding your property, how to pitch and sign your lease, and of course, setting up and launching your first Airbnb property. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? All right, so of course, I'm gonna tell y'all who I am and my journey, and then Nella will jump in and kind of give you all some background on her. So I won't make this too long. I go by J Star. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm also a musical artist and a content creator. So I'm sure you guys have seen my content. You know, you probably get your laugh on my content, but I like to, with this Airbnb game, I like to make sure I focus on the good, or we like to focus on the good, the bad, and the ugly. So what separates us from the rest of these coaches, like most coaches are just talking about how much money you can make and how many properties you can get, but nobody really talks about the ugly. So we like to dive into the ugly side too. All right. So my last job was in 2015. I remember being at the shop for about 4 years. And I remember getting fired. I was telling somebody the story earlier, which is crazy. I remember getting fired from this job, not because I wasn't doing my job, but because the person did not like me. Right? You talking about I'm literally waking up, it's dark outside. I'm getting off, it's even dark outside. I'm the first call when I get there. I'm the last call to leave. And guess what? I wasn't the one that was getting paid the most money, but I felt like I was working the hardest at this job. And for somebody to literally let me go because they didn't like me and was kind of able to alter my future, so they thought, I just kind of made a decision that day that I would never go back to a 9 to 5. And I'm not shading jobs because as an entrepreneur, if I would have known what I know now about it, like your job is your investor, right? I didn't know about it. I wasn't thinking that. I was just like, yo, I gotta get out this job. I can't stand this job. But now I'm like, yo, maybe I should have had maybe held on a little bit longer just to kind of have some money to go into my dreams, which is building this business that we have right now, right? So fast forward, or not even fast forward. I remember just being in that position where I was so comfortable at my job. I knew if I worked 13 hours Monday through Friday, Lord, 13 hours Monday through Friday, crazy, so crazy. Monday through Friday, I knew what my check was going to look like dollar to dollar every Friday, every other Friday, right? So I was working those hours because I knew what my check was going to look like, right? But I remember, getting fired, and I thought about it. I'm like, God, I felt like God gave me that kick, and not to push my faith onto you, but I knew I was comfortable, and I wasn't going to just. I had a balls then just to quit. You know what I'm saying? I was too comfortable. I like the money, right? And He gave me that kick, and I just, fast forward later, we are where we are right now because of relationships with a mentor that I've had since 2015. They made a lot of money between 2018 and 2020 doing Airbnb. And I said, yo, teach me. That's all I said. So remember, life is about relationships. So if I don't ask this question, we're not having this call right now, probably, because we weren't even thinking about doing Airbnb. But because of some close, successful friends and mentors that we have to this day, they were able to sit down and give us this game. So go ahead, Nella, do your thing. You muted.
Great evening, everybody. Great evening. Hold on one second. I am so sorry. You guys hear our beautiful daughter in the background. So, with that having been said, my name is Nella. I had to let her know, close mommy's door, y'all. My name is Nella, and I am a two-time published author, a mompreneur, and a content creator. Um, and J Star's story, as well as mine, is pretty similar. We started off, I started off in a 9 to 5. I went to college, decided that college was not my thing. I went to college a few times. I got kicked out once, and the other times I decided I ain't want to do this, right? I don't want to pay somebody a whole bunch of money for a signature from somebody else telling me that I am qualified to do something. And 9 times out of 10, the professors that were teaching me weren't qualified themselves. I was a business major. I was an international business major, and um, most of my professors never even owned a business before. Like, how are you teaching me something that you've never even done yourself? You only know what is telling you in the books. So for me, that was just kind of like, the first red flag situation. After I left college, I went into corporate America, did the 9 to 5 thing, thinking about 401ks and all that good stuff. And it wasn't until 2019, not too long after I met J Star, where um, I started to realize the things that I was teaching other people about financial freedom became super real for me. I always tell people, when you give somebody the power to feed you, when you give somebody the power to feed you, you also give them the power to starve you. And in December 15th of 2019, I got kicked out of my home. And then 2 days later, I lost my job. And just like that, lost my health care. Mind you, during this time, I was 6 months pregnant. So everything was literally out of my control. Everything was taken from me. I was jumping around in hotels for a while. J Star helped me to find a very small room where me and my daughter were living in for quite some time. And that for me was just it. That was the straw that broke the camel's back, and I was just like, "This is not okay. This is not how I wanna live. This is not how I wanna raise my daughter." And so we decided that we were gonna become partners, you know? Became business partners. We dived into the Airbnb space, and we decided this is exactly what we want to do. This is who we're going to be. This is what we love to do. And this is how we're going to create our own financial freedom, our own time freedom. And we're going to teach other people how to do that as well. So, with that in mind, we decided that we had to sit down and go ahead and set our own goals. So, if you have a notepad with you, if you have a pencil with you, whatever the case may be, I want you to go ahead and we're going to seriously think about this, okay? We're going to talk about goals for a second because you cannot start anything without direction, you know? It's just like when you get in the car and you're going somewhere new and you type in a GPS. The very first thing when you open your GPS, whether it's Waze, Google Maps, or whatever other apps that you guys might use, right? The very first thing it's going to ask you is, where are you going? Okay? If you don't know where you're going, then the GPS cannot set a route for you. And it's the same exact way in life. If you do not know where you're going in life, there's no way that you can set a route for yourself. There's no way you can make a plan. There's no way that you are going to be able to succeed if you don't have a specific goal. So, the first question that I want you to answer for yourself is, what's your goal with Airbnb? What's your goal? Just take a moment. Is it that you want to become financially free? Is it that you want Airbnb to just pay a few bills? Is it the fact that you want Airbnb to handle all the vacations that you want to go on? Or is it that you want to create generational wealth, not general wealth, generational wealth? Okay, what are the things what is the specific goal that you have with Airbnb? Go ahead and write that down. Next, how much do you want to make? Be specific with this number. It's okay to be specific with this number, and you do not, I repeat, you do not have to, oh, sorry, y'all. You do not have to, have to, s- you do not want to make this a general number. Like, don't make it a general number at all, okay? I'm going to, okay. So you do not want to make this just a general number at all. All right. Very specific. So if you say, I want Airbnb to make me $10,522.77 per month, then that's how much you want to make. Okay. Next, I want you to go ahead and say, do you want to build fast or do you want to build slow? All right. Success loves speed. Success loves speed. So I want you to really think about this. What is it that you want to do? Do you want to take your time and move at a snail or a tortoise pace? Or do you want to be a rabbit and move fast? And then finally, what are you willing to sacrifice? Ooh, I know good and well somebody probably cringed at that word, sacrifice. A lot of us don't want to sacrifice things, but guess what? In order to have something great, you have to make great sacrifices. So, what is it that you are willing to sacrifice? Does that mean you have to give up that Netflix and chill? That binge watching of your favorite season, your favorite show that you wait all season so that one day you could just sit down and just watch every episode all in a row? Is it the fact that you're going to have to give up some family time for a period of time so that you can really focus and dive in? Is it the fact that maybe you're going to have to let go of one of those jobs? You know, two jobs is for two people. So stop working two jobs and let's build an empire. So, what is it that you are going to have to sacrifice? And let me give you a little hint. I say, are you willing to sacrifice? But nine times out of 10, if you have to sacrifice it, you're not going to be willing to do it. So, if it makes you cringe when you think about giving it up, more than likely, that needs to be what you are going to sacrifice. All right. Now let's go ahead and get started and let's dive in. So, getting started, we're going to go over three different things. We're going to decide your level that you want to get started on. We're going to establish your business, and then you are going to finance your business. Okay. So, first, decide your level. Are you on level 1, level 2, or level 3? Level 1 is no money. That means you have zero, zip, zilch, nada. Okay? You have nothing. Nothing. Okay? So, what can you do at this level? Plain and simple co hosting. All right? So, you can either co host, or if you have a home that has a spare room in it, you can go ahead and do it up if you have the means to do that. Maybe you don't have thousands, but you have a few $100s to go ahead and buy a bed and set up a nice little shindig for somebody. And you don't mind sharing a space with guests every once in a while or on a regular basis. Go ahead and do this. Okay. So, no money, co hosting. All right, you want to go ahead and go onto cohostmarket.com or .co. Sorry about that. cohostmarket.com, and you want to go ahead and sign up. It's like $50 a year, and you can go ahead and find a whole bunch of Airbnb short-term rental, mid-term rental, long-term rental hosts within your area or even outside of your area that's looking for somebody to manage their properties. And the best thing about this is a lot of times most co-hosts earn up to 40% per booking. Okay? 40% per booking. That is crazy. All right. So don't sit there and sleep on the fact that, okay, I don't have the capital to get started right now. Go ahead, Find somebody that has Airbnbs, or find a landlord or a property manager that wants to get into the Airbnb business, because you probably know more than what they know. And if you do, that means you are at an advantage and you can educate them and run their properties for them on any Airbnb platform, any short-term rental platform. Now, level number 2, more money. Okay? This is really where we reside at. Most people, I know you see a lot of times, people will say you can get started in Airbnb without owning any property. That is this level right here. Level number 2, more money. You have somewhere between $5 to $10,000 to go ahead and get started all in. And what is this? Rental arbitrage, or some people know it as subleasing or subletting. Okay. So with this, what you want to do is you go to a property manager, you go to a landlord, whatever the case may be, and you say, "Hey, I want to rent your property out at a monthly rate, which is your rent, okay? And I'm going to rent it back out at a nightly rate." Now, do not be surprised, because a lot of property managers and landlords are starting to see the benefit of having Airbnb hosts in their property, because it helps their occupancy rate. So do not be surprised if they try to charge you a percentage. Now, if it is a reasonable percentage, by all means go ahead. But if it is not reasonable, keep it trucking, okay? Or negotiate if you're really good at negotiating. If you are not, then there is a book. It's called Never Split the Difference. It will help you with your negotiating skills. I guarantee it. Okay. So that's level number 2, is rental arbitrage, where you go ahead, you rent out at a monthly rate. You have a rent that you pay every single month, and then you go ahead and rent it out at a nightly rate to cover your expenses and to make profit. And that is what most people do, is rental arbitrage. Okay? Or corporate leasing, corporate housing, subletting, subleasing, however you want to say it. Okay? Next up, we have level number 3, which is flow money. This means you have cash money, honey. Okay? This means you have somewhere between 20,000 and, well, not even between $20,000 and up. This is the level that most people start to get into real estate investing. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and break a myth really quick, because this honestly is one of the things that really gets up under my skin. When a lot of people say they're doing rental arbitrage and then they try to say that they are in real estate investing. No, you are not, because you do not own anything. If you are in rental arbitrage, you are not a real estate investor. Now, if you head to level number 3, where you are purchasing property, where you have a mortgage that you pay, you are now a real estate investor in this instance, not at level 2. So don't think that, okay? Now, level 3. The only thing we don't like about level 3 is the fact that this actually slows, unless you have a whole bunch of money laying around. This actually slows your process of being able to grow, to be able to scale your business at a fast rate. So if you are somebody that wrote that you want to be able to build fast, and you don't have $20,000 plus to be able to drop like this is not the level you want to operate at. Okay. Now, later down the road, you probably do. But right now, starting off, probably not. Now, for example, this is just for numbers' sake. Obviously, houses do not cost this. Let's say, for example, a house costs $100,000. Out of pocket, you're probably going to be coming out of pocket just to close somewhere around $20,000, give or take, right? Now, that's not including the fact that you have to furnish the property. That's not including the fact that because you own the property, you are solely responsible for anything that happens in that property. So if an appliance breaks, if you have to get plumbing handled, if you have to get heating and electric handled, all of these different things can make a huge difference for you. Okay? Now, we're going to go ahead and move on to establishing your business. Number 1, get your business basics. This is your professional email, your phone number, and your address. When I say address, I do not mean the address that you live at. All of this information has to be professional and has to be separate from your own. Do not think for 1 second you are an established business if you are using your own personal cell phone. You are not. Okay? Now, number 2, in regards to this, all business information is public information. So if you put your home address out there as your business address, guess what? If you have an angry guest, God forbid, knock on wood, if you have an angry guest, they can show up at your house if they find your business address. And you're not going to be too happy, and they're probably not happy if they're standing right there. Okay? So let's go ahead and make sure we get all this information right the first time. How can we do this? Your professional email, don't have it say at yahoo.com, at gmail.com, at aol.com, at bing.com, none of those. Okay, you want it to say at whatever your business name is or whatever domain you decide to have .com. Okay, you can go to Google Business Suite and they can give you an email, a professional email. You can go to wix.com and get a professional email. Simple and plain. Your phone number, you can use things like Google Voice, okay? Or if you want to go ahead and make your phone a tax write off, here's a little hint for you guys. If you want to go ahead and make your phone a tax write off, go ahead and ask your carrier for a second phone number to be attached to your actual phone. So business calls can come in on that phone and regular calls can come in on that phone. And you don't have a second phone, you just have two numbers to one phone. There you go. Now your business address, you don't have to have a physical location. You can utilize a virtual address. Go ahead and go to regis.com, regus.com, or somewhere like wework.com. Okay, and they both are internationally known places, businesses, and they are amazing when it comes to virtual addresses. Okay, next thing, you want to establish your LLC. There are plenty of places you can go and establish an LLC if you don't want to go to your Secretary of State by yourself and do it for yourself, which actually costs less if you do, and just do your research. Call them. They are more than happy to help you. Like, they will answer any questions that you have when you're filing paperwork. And typically it is a step-by-step process in the first place. Okay. But if you don't want to take the time to do that, I recommend going to northwesternagents.com because they are the bomb.com, and you can literally have your LLC up and running within a week if you stay on top of getting the paperwork done. Okay. Now, the caveat to this, and I tell people this all the time, make sure you file your LLC within a state like Wyoming. Why? Because their laws to protect LLCs is ironclad. Okay? Then you want to move on to get your EIN. Once your LLC is established, get your EIN number. You should not be paying for your EIN. Go to irs.gov and get your EIN number. If somebody asks you for your credit or debit card to purchase an EIN number, you are on the wrong site. Then you want to create a website. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can be a simple landing page. You can use something like wix.com or even Canva. Okay, create a simple landing page just so that you have some business, proper professional presence. Okay, so that if somebody asks you for it, you can say here and you can hand it off and then you're done. Okay, then you want to become discoverable on Google. So, Google My Business as well as Bing Places for Business. These two will help you get discoverable outside of platforms that you decide to use. Next up, you want to finance your business. Now, we're going to run through this pretty quick. If I'm talking too fast, I'm sorry, but we got to move on, guys. All right. So, you want to finance your business. Number one, open your business bank accounts. Now, you're going to use the acronym STOP. Okay. STOP. STOP. S stands for savings, T stands for taxes, O stands for operations, and P stands for profit. You want to go ahead and have all of these. The only one of these that's going to actually be a savings account will be the S. That stands for savings, okay? The T, the O, and the P are all going to be checking accounts because you are going to regularly withdraw from them. If you withdraw from a savings account too many times within 1 month, you can actually get penalized for that when it comes to paying your taxes later down the road. Okay. Next, you want to establish your cash flow once you have this. So you're going to use your operational account for establishing your cash flow. Now, what you want to do, let's say, for example, you have $5,000 that you want to put into your account. Once you open the account, you're not just going to go ahead and establish and put in all 5,000. What you want to do is slowly put that money into the account. And as you put the money into the account, this is going to establish your cash flow. Okay? Number three, get your business credit and use your business credit cards or line of credits or whatever the case may be. Use that to operate your business and then use the operation account to go ahead and pay the cards off every single month. Okay, guys, we are going to be good stewards of our credit cards and we are going to pay them off every single month when it's due. Okay, now you can break it up and do 3 days, do 15 days before the actual due date and then 3 days before the due date. So you're technically making two payments in 1 month. But at the end of when the due date comes up, you don't want to leave any more than, I would say, honestly, like $10. Because if you pay the full card off, then it's showing that there was like no activity and there's nothing to report. But if you leave a few dollars on there, $5, $10, then it's something to report to your credit. Now, where is this reporting to? Yes, we know we have Experian, we have Expedia, we have Experian, we have Equifax, and we have TransUnion. But there's also another credit company that is used specifically for business, and that's your Duns and Bradstreet. So head on over to dnb.com and get your Duns and Bradstreet number, so that way you can make sure that you have impeccable business credit. Okay, your business credit and your personal credit are two separate things. Now, as we talk about business credit, what are some ways to establish your business credit? Well, some of my personal favorites and some that we have used, you want to head over to Costco, Sam's Club, and BJ's, whichever one. If you have a membership at any or all of these places, go ahead and get a business credit card. They all have business credit cards. Get them. Okay? Go ahead and get them. You can use them anywhere, especially with the Costco. Costco has an anywhere business credit card that you can purchase items from wherever. It doesn't have to be a Costco purchase. Now, please make sure, once again, you are paying this stuff off because interest is no joke. All right. Next up, we have Amazon Business American Express. This was actually the very first credit card that we got for our business, and we were approved right on the spot. So Amazon, if you do not know, Amazon actually has a business side to it, just like many retailers do. They have a business side to it. So you want to go to Amazon Business, get a business credit card, and typically, if you get approved instantly or if you get approved within a certain amount of time or whatever the case may be, you typically can get an instant card online that you can go ahead and use right away. Now, one lesson that we learned with this, do not, if by the second time it does not let you log on to activate, if it doesn't let you log on to the online portal to activate your instant card, do not do it a third time, because if you do it a third time, it will completely lock you out and you will have to wait for the card to arrive. We had to learn this the hard way. We had to wait 2 weeks before we could purchase our stuff, and we were mad. Okay, so please go ahead, take heed to my words, and if you get to number 2 and it doesn't let you log in, just keep it moving, call customer service and they will help you out. Now, American Express Blue Business Cash Card. Say that 5 times fast. 0% APR for 12 months. And a lot of people don't know, a lot of times if you have a 0% APR promo, sometimes if you're doing good with your credit cards, they will be willing to extend that 0% APR to 18 months, sometimes even longer. Okay? And then finally, American Express Gold and Platinum Biz Credit Card. Okay, so these are all credit cards that you can go ahead to use in order to establish your business credit. Now, if you don't have the best personal credit to be able to guarantee these credit cards, go ahead and get you a net account. So a 30, a 60, 90-day net account with uh some of these actually Costco, Sam's Clubs, and BJ's, they actually have net accounts. But you want to make sure that you're getting net accounts with companies that you're actually going to use. Don't just get them just to have them. Get companies that you actually have to use, like Uline. Uline has a lot of stuff like detergents and washcloths and things of that nature that you can use within your business. And I am now going to go ahead and move right into finding your property. Now, how do you find a property? We've established our business, we've established our finances, all of that good stuff. Now, you're going to go ahead and you really want to look for single family or apartments. And honestly, with apartments, we don't necessarily like to look for anything past 2 bedrooms. Um, just because if it's anything more than that, at that rate, you might as well get a single family home, right? So, typically, like we said, you want to rent only unless you are doing something more than that, unless you really are looking to purchase properties. You want to rent only single family homes or apartments, no more than 2 bedrooms, really. If you want to go for three, be our guest. Apartment hack on Airbnb. So you can use Airbnb to find properties. Um, just go ahead and research the place that you are looking for. And of course, all these places are going to come up. All of these apartments. Now you're going to have to do a little bit of research on Google to try to match where these apartments are. But if you are able to do that, then you have a good list of places where they probably will allow you to do rental arbitrage. Okay. Now, you could also use Zillow or rent.com, apartments.com, Craigslist. You kind of want to be careful with Craigslist because there's a lot of scammers out there. And then you could also use airdna.co. Okay. So, all of these resources you can use in order to be able to find properties, and airdna.co will help you to be able to establish whether or not your business is going to be profitable. It's going to tell you what are you going to have to charge per night at bare minimum to be able to make a good profit. Okay? Now that we have decided where we want to go ahead and look at what properties we want to look at, now we got to go ahead and pitch the properties and then eventually sign it, right? Like we got to actually sign a lease. So, in this section, we're going to go over start pitching. So, we're going to talk about calling or emailing, and then we're going to talk about touring the property and then signing the lease. Okay. So, very simple. Our personal pitches. So I am the behind the scenes person. If you can't tell, I know I've been doing a lot of talking, but I am the behind the scenes person. I am the analytical person, whereas J Star is the person that loves to be upfront and personal and making the connections with people in person. So I do a lot of the calling and the screening of properties before we make a decision on if it's what we want to move forward with. Now, when it comes to emailing, if you use a platform like Zillow.com, Rent.com, Airbnb, Apartment.com, typically you'll see like on the right hand side, or like it'll be like a little pop-up menu. You'll see where they let you email or send a message to the property manager or the landlord or whoever, right? You could simply type in something like this. Of course, your name is not Nella, and of course you are not with IMBK Properties, but you could simply type in something like this little message like this: hey, my name is Nella with IMBK Properties. We found your property on whatever website. Are you currently accepting business applications? Plain and simple, nothing more, nothing less. Okay. And then eventually they'll get back to you directly via phone or via email. Now, if you decide, I personally like to do phone pitches because it creates a little bit more relationship in the front end, so that when J Star gets to the property for an actual tour, they already have some type of relationship with us as a business. So I personally love phone pitches. So I'll hit them up and I'll just say, hey, great day. My name is Nella with IMBK Properties. I found your property on X, Y, and Z, and I'm reaching out to see if you all accept corporate leases. Do you sign leases with LLCs? Because if they accept corporate leases, sometimes they don't accept LLCs. Sometimes they only accept like C corps or S corps or whatever the case may be. Okay, so you have to be specific. Now, one thing that's very important to understand when you are on the phone with somebody is that you have to control the call. If you allow them to control the call, you lose the game. Okay, so after you get all of this information, after they tell you yes, we sign leases with LLCs, great. When are you available, and you give them a specific date and a small time frame. So it makes them feel like they have a little bit of control, but they really don't, because you already had in your mind, this is the time frame I'm giving them. You want to give them a small time frame of which you are available and you would like to tour the property. So you just say, "Hey, great. Okay, are you available on X, Y, and Z date between X, Y, and Z time frame?" If they say yes, great. If they say no, okay, what time is best for you on X, Y, and Z day between and then another time frame? And then they will go ahead and pick a time. You say great, and you move forward. My name is X, Y, and Z. My phone number is da 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 da. I will see you on da 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 at da 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 da. Talk to you later. Period. Okay. Now, it may seem very straightforward. It may seem very blunt. It may seem very business. Now, when when they first answer the phone, I get their name. I talk to them a little bit. I ask them how their day is so they feel more comfortable. But once that happens, I go right in for the kill. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and hand this off to J Star. Um, hold on one second. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened to him. There he is. Okay, so he is actually handling a guest right now.
Literally.
Literally handling a guest that's checking in right now. It's such an amazing thing, right? So we're gonna go ahead and I will move forward with him with everything. Okay. So we're going to talk about what's the difference. Okay. So, this is very important to know and understand when it comes to dealing with landlords and property managers, because sometimes they don't understand. Sometimes you have to educate them. Sometimes you have to let them know what's the difference between you and what's the difference between a tenant. Okay. So, what you're gonna do is, if they ever ask why should I let you, like, let's say for instance they're not comfortable. Let's say for instance they're kind of like on the edge. These are things that gives you that extra push for them to be like, okay, I feel a little bit more comfortable. Okay. So the difference between your business and a traditional tenant, your business, there's less wear and tear of the property. A lot of people know, as property managers, landlords, the biggest cost that they have is turnover when a tenant leaves the property. Okay? This is not going to happen with you, because you are there to take care of the property. If the property is not looking at its best, then it affects your income as well, right? So, your less wear and tear of the property can rent multiple you are able to rent multiple units. Traditional tenants have limited income. They're not able to, and they don't want to. That's not the purpose of a traditional tenant. You're able to rent multiple units, which actually helps their occupancy rate. Okay, if a property's occupancy rate, this is more so for corporately owned properties, if their occupancy rate is less than 60%, and even at 60%, they need you. Okay, they really, really need you. They're struggling right then and there. All right. And then you always get your property professionally cleaned. That's like the best thing. You get your property professionally cleaned on a regular basis. So, because you get your property professionally cleaned on a regular basis, it always looks amazing. Okay. And then finally, you are insured up to $3 million. Typically, your traditional tenant, they will go ahead and um, get renter's insurance. And then as soon as they get the property, they'll typically cancel it not too long after. I know I used to do that, and Like, so yeah. All right. Now, your traditional tenant, like I said, there is limited income. There's everyday wear and tear, and they will not cover minor maintenance. Okay. So let's say, for instance, something happens to like the faucet or like the air filter needs to get fixed or replaced. Those are things that you can have your maintenance person cover. Um, and they don't have to worry about those small things that they have to pay their maintenance person for. Okay. And then lastly, traditional tenants typically have pets and they sometimes smoke. And this goes back into that turnover cost that is a pain in the butt for a lot of property managers and landlords. Now, here's some important things to keep in mind during your tour. Now, the first thing will be, excuse me, guys. The first thing will be is when you're speaking with the property manager, ask about specials, build rapport, and don't be afraid to ask for more. Okay. Our very first property, when we went ahead and we asked J Star, he bought our the property manager, he bought her lunch. He asked her if she ate yet. She said no, and he cashed after her like $25, and he bought her lunch. Like, simple as that. Things like that win your people over. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to him right now because he is, like I said, he is the tour person. He is the person that handles all of these different things. This, I let him handle it all. So here we go.
Man, listen, let me get some water real quick because it got a little spicy. I don't even know where you left off at because I was on the phone handling the guests. They were outside trying to get in the building, couldn't get into the building. So
Go
y'all getting
ahead.
the
I
first
just
one.
started number one.
All right, cool. So important things to keep in mind during your tour when speaking to the property manager, ask about specials. All right, so you'll of course they're gonna tell you how much they want per month and all that good stuff, how much the lease costs, right? Or how much you for the rent. And what I did is I literally just went in there and said, hey, listen, what's your specials? Like, can I get first one? And remember, like when you're touring these properties and you're talking to the property manager, they are people just like you. All right, they're people just like you. So don't be afraid to ask for specials. Hey, when you touring a property, hey, how's your day? How's work? How's everything going? How long you been doing this? Is this the only property that you have? Do you manage other properties, right? And when you ask for specials, I was like, hey, listen, can I get first month free? First 2 months free? I might say 3 or 4. I'm trying to see how far I can stretch it, but I'm treating them just like I would want to be treated. I'm talking to them the same way that I would want somebody to talk to me. All right. So the specials might be first month off, or it might be first 2 weeks and all that good stuff. So you make sure you ask for that stuff up front. All right. Number two, pay attention to details. Ask the important questions. Pay attention to the demographic of renting from an apartment complex. So basically, what that means is if you book an Airbnb, you get off the plane, you drive there, you catch your Uber there. Before you get out the Uber, do you feel comfortable? Do you feel safe? All right. So sometimes, the majority of the time, when we're trying to get these properties, we so pressed to get there, yes, that we not even think about nothing else. All right, so you want to make sure you feel safe because if you don't feel safe, that's why your guests not gonna feel safe. And guess what? They're either going to cancel or they're going to complain and leave you a nasty review, and you don't want that. So as you're touring the property, you want to look outside. You want to check inside. What does it look like? All right, so you want to make sure you're doing all these things as well. All right, does everything match what you saw in line? If you saw in one of the pictures, you saw a washer and a dryer in one of the pictures, you want to make sure there's a washer and a dryer inside the property, right? You want to make sure there's a pool. If there's a pool, you want to make sure it looks exactly how the pictures look. And if not, that's little things you can deduct. Hey, listen, this don't look like he said online. You want to take something off this rent? This is how I talk to him. I'm talking to him the same way I'm talking to y'all right now because I want them to get the authentic me. All right. And amenities are key. So once again, a pool, right? They might have a community room. They might have a balcony that has an amazing view. So the only thing about these things, I try to like keep away and not really promote those things because just imagine it's a nice hot summer day and your guests chilling, they at the pool, and they might be rowdy, they may not be, right? And they might be out there smoking, and they probably shouldn't be, right? And somebody's like, yo, who you? Oh, we in that Airbnb in 305. And you got to think about, if it's an apartment building, most buildings don't like to see different traffic every day. Why? Because they live there. They want a sense of privacy, right? They don't. If they don't know you, they're looking at you crazy. And guess what they're gonna do? They probably gonna go complain to the noise monitor. I mean, not the I said we. They probably gonna go complain to the property manager. All right, and you're gonna start getting complaints, and you don't want that. So you can definitely put the amenities in your list, and that's cool. But I kind of try to like not super push the amenities, because you just don't want your guests everywhere in the building, because they will be. All right. All right. Oh, I skipped one. Oh, that's another thing when touring a property. So you want to make sure, if the property doesn't come with smart locks, you want to make sure you're looking for a place that you could put a lock box at, right? So you might look outside, and there might be someone to put it outside of the property, like on premises, but like outside right before they go into the building. For example, our property, we put it right at the apartment door, right? So you have the door frame, and then the way it's set up is that it's a little thick, so we put it like inside right by the door. But we had to ask for permission. Hey, listen, before I sign this lease, I'm trying to figure out how smooth I can make check-in. That's your goal. The goal is that I don't want to check my guests in every time. It is now 8:19. Somebody literally just booked our property for the next 6 days. I don't want to leave my house or stop this call in the middle to go check somebody in. Nah. So the guest call to check in so I can let them into the building because we have a call box, but I don't want to have to physically go check them in. So you want to make sure before you sign anything, hey, how smooth will this check-in be so I don't have to be there? And if it doesn't have a smart lock, so like at our building, even if we had a smart lock, there's still a call box that they will have to call. So the call box is assigned to my number. When they call it, I buzz them in the building. They walk in, they go to the apartment. The lock box is right there. We put the key in. They put the code in, they get the key, they in the building. They don't need me. And because I love what I do and I love my guests, as I'm on the phone with the guest right now, I say, hey, look, why I got you, you might as well just let me know what you think of the property while you walking in. Hit them lights. And I'm talking to her just like this. I want her to get my personality, my energy. And she's like, oh my goodness, this place is amazing, and this and this and this. That's what I want to hear. And if you need anything, I'm a phone call away. All right. So you want to make sure you're looking at everything. Don't be so excited about that you got a yes that you miss something. All right. So you want to make sure when you're signing the property, you're getting all the details. They're not giving you no stipulations. Hey, every guest, we need to do our own verification. Or every guest got to sign a $25 a $25 fee for them to stay. Nah, you want to make sure that yes, I can do it. Yes, I got permission, but everything is the way that you want it, and check-in will be easy. All right. So, babe, on you. You muted.
I'm still muted. There we go. So now we are going to jump into the important things to keep in mind when signing. Y'all, I done did so much talking. So, first and foremost, you want to ensure language allows for short-term rental. Otherwise, use an addendum. Okay, so this is one of the things that we personally provide with our Airbnb course, our short-term rental course. We provide an addendum that doesn't have any legal jargon in it, so that way the property manager or landlord doesn't feel like they have to get an attorney to review the documentation. Now, typically, your average lease does have a a fr- a a clause. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. It does have a clause in there saying that you can't do short-term rentals, you can't sublease, you can't do rental arbitrage, however they want to word it. So you have to. I know a lot of us, we might go to banks and stuff like that, and we don't read the fine print. When you're signing a lease, you have to read that stuff because you will get caught up in 2.5 seconds if you do not. I can't tell you how many times one property manager tried to catch us up, but because of the fact that we had our addendum in order, and we have a no play attorney, okay? Like, they couldn't. She literally, this property manager literally tried for almost 6 months to get us kicked out. She called cops on us. So many different things happened with this one specific property manager. But because of the fact that we had not only all of our documentation in order, because of the fact that we had an attorney on call, which is a resource that we provide to you with being part of our course, um, there was nothing she could do. There was nothing. She was bound to the contract that she signed with us because we provided the addendum, and because they didn't have one on hand, we provided the addendum. And because of that, we were good. We were covered. A lot of people say CYOA. That's what we did. Cover your own. Okay. So, number two, ask for early move in allowances. Okay. So you want to ask for early move-in allowances because of the fact that when you are doing this, this allows time for you to be able to set up your property before you are actually before your lease actually starts. So let's say, for instance, April 1st is right around the corner. That's a prime example right now. Okay, April 1st is right around the corner. That is actually this what Sunday. That's this Saturday. So let's say, for instance, your lease starts on Saturday. Well, you're going to ask the landlord to give a 2, 3 day early move in allowance that will allow you to set your property up so that when your lease starts, you can actually have the property set and more than likely have a guest checking in on that specific day. Okay. Now, the thing about this is a lot of people mess up here. They end up starting all of their services the day during the days that they are checking in. Oh, I mean, not checking in, during the days they are setting their property up. Do not set up no gas, no electric, no nothing up under your business name until the day of your lease. Like, it shouldn't start until the day of your lease, okay? If it's starting any other day ahead of that, it's not your responsibility because your lease doesn't start until the first, right? So that's what you want to do in regards to number two. Now, number three, nothing starts until the day of your lease start date at 12 a.m., which is what I just said. Okay. So your lease start date is even though the first, a lot of people think they'll ask you, when you sign the lease, they'll ask you what time do you want to check in, what time do you want to start your lease, or and when do you want to move in and all this stuff. And most people will be like, oh, we'll be here around 12 o'clock or something like that. No, your lease starts at 12 a.m. Legally, your lease starts at 12 a.m. the day of your lease start date. So if your lease start date is April 1st, April 1st at 12 a.m. is when your lease starts. So you can be on that property at any given time. Of course, even if they give you a move-in allowance, okay? Now, number four, publish ahead of time and edit after your setup. Now, what you want to do, this is a little trick so that you can go ahead and start getting bookings before your property is even ready. Now, if you have a property, if you have an apartment that looks like photos, stage photos that the property manager or the property has on their website, go ahead, copy those photos, download them to your computer, and then upload them in place so that you can show off your property and you can start to get bookings before your property is even set up. Now, in your description, you're going to put a disclaimer stating that your property is under not construction necessarily, but your property is under renovation. Okay. Like, you're changing it up. The style is going to be different, whatever the case may be. You're going to state that this is not going to look the way it looks in these pictures when you arrive. Okay. Now, once your property is set up, you're going to get a professional photographer, a professional real estate photographer to take pictures of your property. Once you get those pictures, you're going to go ahead and replace the pictures that you got from the property's website. So that way you don't miss a beat. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and move into setup and launch, and we're going to bring this baby in for a landing. Number one, you want to go ahead and build your team. Your team is going to consist of many people as you start to scale your business. But in the beginning, you only need two people. The most important people in your business is your maintenance and your cleaning team. Your maintenance is going to have two set prices for you. It's going to be a setup price and also an on-call price. Okay. Our maintenance person, he is the bomb.com. He is always there whenever we need him. And he will even instruct us over the phone if he can't make it. Right. So we don't pay him for that part. But he is awesome and he's amazing. We tell him what we need done. He gets in and he gets everything set up within a day. Like it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, the second part is your cleaning team. Your cleaning team is going to be the backbone to your business. They are your eyes and your ears. Okay. They are going to be in your property more than you're going to be in your property. And more than likely, you won't even know what your property looks like after a certain time in the business. Okay. Your team is your cleaning team. They're going to tell you when things are damaged. They're going to tell you when things are missing. They're going to tell you when inventory is low. They're going to let you know, hey, these sheets are stained or whatever the case may be. All of these different instances and more is what your cleaning team is going to be relaying to you. Now, the important part about this is that your cleaning team needs to have some type of staging experience so that way they can put your property back together to your expectations. Okay. And on top of that, we highly recommend if it is more than one person, you need to make sure that the cleaning team, no matter who cleans that property, no matter who cleans it, that you can never tell the difference. So if I clean one day and then J Star cleans the next time somebody checks out, you should not be able to tell the difference between the two. Okay? It should always look pristine and always look perfect. Now, decor and delivery. This is what's going to happen with this part. The moment that you sign that lease, you should be pressing order. You should be pressing place order on any website that you have your carts filled for. Okay, whether it's Walmart, Target, Amazon, Wayfair, whatever the case may be, you should be pressing place order the moment you sign. Now, in order to do this, that means before you sign your lease, you have had to already gone shopping for your property and put those things in the cart so that when time comes, you can be hitting place order. And when you are doing this, you should be placing the order at least a week in advance. Okay? Give yourself time so that all the items can arrive and they're not arriving during the time frame of your setup because then you're going to be scrambling, especially if you only have 3 days and you have a guest checking in on that 4th day. Okay? Setup day, allot at least 18 hours. All right. Setup day is going to be crucial. It's going to be serious. It is going to be no game. Don't wear no slides. Don't wear no flip flops. Be comfortable. Wear sneakers because you're going to be working. Okay. Especially for your first property. You are going to be working. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Now, number 4, list your property. Okay. You're going to go ahead and do the little tricks that I've taught you. And you're going to go ahead and list your property on whatever booking platform. So whether that's booking.com, expedia.com, um, Airbnb, VRBO, whatever the booking platform that you decide to use, you're going to go ahead and set your property up, do all your descriptions. Now, any open space that you see on that listing, that is real estate for your listing. Do not leave anything blank because this is what leads us into number 5, making your listing SEO friendly. SEO is search engine optimization. So even though I may not be searching on Airbnb's platform, and I go to Google and I type in a rustic Airbnb within Philadelphia, because I'm from Philly, all right? Within Philadelphia, and you don't have rustic in anything of your listing, but you have a rustic property, you're not going to come up. You are not SEO friendly. But if you put enough keywords to describe your property, describing your amenities, describing who this property is going to appeal to, then you have become SEO friendly. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about our top 6, but I'm going to let J Star to go ahead and take this part away.
Let's do it. I'm back. Did y'all miss me? I am back. All right, look, let's get into our top 6. We done held you guys for a good hour real quick, so we are almost done. All right, so number 1 on this list is price. They all important. All right, I ain't even gonna say first, second, third. Is the minute noise monitor. All right, so this device, it looks like a smoke detector. It goes inside the property. It does not, and I repeat, does not record video. All right, because you cannot, it is against the law to record video inside the property. They will throw you away, and you don't want to be thrown away. All right, don't get thrown away. All right. So what this does, it actually allows you to set the decibels inside the property on the volume. All right. And how high you want the volume to be inside the property before it lets you know that, hey, your guests are a little bit rowdy in there, or they might have the music up a little too loud. So you want to play with it, because when we first got it, we didn't have it set high enough, and it was literally triggering everything. And we were getting like irritated. I'm talking about 3 o'clock in the morning, waking us up, saying it's loud in there. All right. What it also does, it notifies you when devices are connected to the Wi-Fi. All right. So imagine you have 2 or 3 people on your reservation, and it says there's 10 devices connected to the Wi-Fi. Hold on, y'all said it was 3 people, and I know y'all ain't got 10 devices between the 3 of y'all. What y'all bought? Everybody got a laptop and phones and some more stuff. All right, so it kind of lets you know, hey, there's more than 3 people in your property. All right, this thing is amazing, and it comes with the app, so you can literally see everything through the app and set it up through the app. Number 2 is a door camera, a video door camera. We use Blink, because Blink is only $50. I think Ring is like $100. Their cheapest like $100. Blink is $50. It does everything that Ring does. It comes with the app. It lets you set it up through the app. It shows you the video through the app. It does literally everything in the app. It lets you know that the battery's low through the app. All right, this thing is $50, and we'll make sure that you guys have the links for these products, so you don't have to go look for it. We'll just make sure you got it. All right. Once again, you can have the video doorbell on the outside of the property. So for us, like I said, we like to tell you about the good, the bad, the ugly. We had got this. We had got this doorbell on a Thursday. We literally had already had a trip planned to go to Atlanta that next Friday, the next day, which was Friday. We get to Atlanta on Friday. It's like 9:00 p.m. Our notifications on our phone going crazy, like crazy from the doorbell. We're like, what's happening? Right? What's happening? Like, why are we getting all these notifications? And we look up, and it's like 25 people in and out of the property. I'm talking about these girls is dressed up like they was going to the club, little shirts on, little skirts on, right? Like going crazy. We like, oh no, right? We called Airbnb. We told them what was going on. Hey, the reservation said 3. It looked like there's 30 people in our property. No lie, I cannot lie to you. I will find the footage and I will show y'all. All right. So we call, they kick them out, all that good stuff. When they coming out, I mean, it's just like a whole gang in there. They coming out with, you know, the white fold-up tables that you use for picnics? Somebody had one of them. Somebody had the big boom box, light-up speaker, had one of them. The music was so loud, with the door closed, you could hear the music through the doorbell. All the way in Atlanta. It was crazy. So we're like, yo, imagine if we wouldn't have got this doorbell, all the noise and traffic that would have happened that whole weekend. We probably came back to a property that had a notice on our door saying, y'all gotta go. You gotta be once again, be mindful of what you're getting. If you're in an apartment complex, you have to think about everybody that lives in that building, not just your property. And once again, it's not your property. You're leasing it out. They can kick you out due to the noise. So if you got the video and you got the noise monitor, we don't like to spy on our guests. We're not trying to spy on our guests, but this is a business. We need to make sure that the people that say that they own that reservation are the people that's going in. And somebody may say, hey, listen, I got 2 people that's on the reservation. And they might let you know, hey, look, I got another 3 people that's coming. They're not spending the night, they're coming through. Like, we don't have a problem with that. Like, when people are upfront and let us know, hey, this is a situation, or we might not even trip if we see like 6 people, but 10, 15, 30, and you ain't tell us, that's a problem. All right. Next, we got the Slage Uncode Smart Lock. So this is a must. If you can get this, and the building allows you to do it, it makes it easier. All right, but make sure you get the Wi-Fi one. It has to say Wi-Fi enabled. All right, because that will allow you to change the codes remotely. You don't want to have to be there physically changing the code every time somebody checks out. All right, so get this lock. It comes with the app once again. You can monitor everything through the app. You can set up codes for your cleaners. You can set up codes for your handyman, and you can change the code every time a guest checks in and checks out. All right. Then I'm gonna let Nelly do the dynamic pricing, but I'm gonna talk about Turnover BNB, which is now called Turnover. So you can download the app Turnover. So TURNO. All right. So this is an app that allows you to find cleaners, and it allows you to keep that tabs on your cleaners. So you literally not keep tabs, but like you can set it up to where you can set up your checkout list for the cleaners, like room by room. That's now is like very analytical. So everything is done by room. Hey, I need you to sweep this. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. By room. All right. You can do that. So when the cleaners get to the property, they know exactly what to do. You can actually pay them through the app as well. So you don't have to worry about sending an invoice. It tracks all that for you. So when it's time for you to do your taxes and stuff, you can literally just get that to your tax strategist. And yes, we have a tax strategist. We'll make sure you guys get that information as well. She's fire. All right. Because as an entrepreneur, you do not need to be going to HR block and TurboTax trying to do your own taxes because you don't know it all. All right. You delegate that to somebody else and let them get you some money back or stop you from having to pay anything. All right. Or a little bit, however it goes. And then we have WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is like it's WhatsApp. I think everybody knows what WhatsApp. It's a group chat. So we use this for our cleaners. So your cleaners are your eyes and ears to your business. They're super, 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 super important, unless you're cleaning it. Now, I advise when you're starting your business for the first 90 days, you should be cleaning your own property. Don't get in and be like, all right, well, I'm going to assign this to a cleaner. You know, we actually did that. We got in. I think we might have cleaned like once or twice. It was like cleaners, cleaners. We don't want cleaners, right? But I think it's crucial for you to clean your properties first because you know nobody's going to clean your property like you. Or make sure everything is like taken care of. I think I'm like a little OCD because when I clean, I'm like overly looking at everything 5 times, right? Anyway, so I say I recommend you clean your properties first because when it's time to delegate that to your cleaners, you can tell them exactly how you want it to go, exactly how you want it to look. All right, now with WhatsApp, when they go into the property, you can have them click the camera button inside the app, inside the group message that you set up with your cleaners. We have them take video, not pictures, video. All right. The only time they send us pictures is if something's broken or something's like damaged or like dirty and it need to be replaced or something like that. But as soon as they walk in, we tell them to do a video of the entire property before they touch or clean anything. That way we can see how the guys left it. Then we have them take another video when they're done cleaning the property. Why? So we know they cleaned the property. Why would you have them do that? Because people be lying. People will say they clean the property. They ain't even go to the property. Where they do that at? That's crazy. But it happens. But if you can have them send you a video on the day that they got there and when they checked out, and you have them open the refrigerator, you have them open the microwave, you have them open the stove, right? You have them walk through the entire property. You can see that the property is clean. It's the way that you like. It stays just like the pictures. And guess what? You can sleep at night. Because there has been times when we've been out of town and our cleaners didn't show. And there has been times where our guest has walked into a dirty property because our cleaners didn't show. All right. So you want to make sure that you have proof so you can sleep at night and so that you can vacation with ease and all that good stuff like that. All right. Babe, go ahead, tell about dynamic pricing.
All right. So, dynamic pricing, if you do not already know what dynamic pricing is, it is artificial intelligence. Now, the thing about dynamic pricing is it handles your pricing for you, okay? So, it goes ahead and it manages your day-to-day, your nightly rates and all that good stuff. Now, the thing about this is it can only analyze what's going on in the market. It cannot analyze what is going on a day-to-day basis. So let's say for example that your property your town is having a festival. It does not know that. So you have to make sure that you are keeping an eye on the pricing as it goes, as things go on. So during the summer, you can set a roof, which is how high you would want the pricing to go, and you could set a base, a floor, as to how low you're willing to let your pricing go. And then you can set discount rules and all of these different things, so that way the dynamic pricing can manage your pricing on across all of your platforms for you. Now, sometimes I not sometimes I typically recommend that hosts do not get into dynamic pricing until you have two, three, four, five properties. You don't need it for one property. It's not cost efficient for a person that only has one property. Okay. Now, once you get to two and three properties, depending on how you're feeling, if you are getting sick and tired of having to adjust your prices on a regular basis, and when I say a regular basis, I mean multiple times a day, to be able to stay active, and visible on platforms, especially Airbnb, then go ahead and get dynamic pricing, and you have to decide what is going to be the best for you. So if that is something that you guys want to dive into, I will be more than happy. Just go ahead and drop a comment, and let us know, hey, we want to get into the dynamic pricing side of things, and we will be more than happy to go ahead and discuss that. I say I because I, once again, am the analytical person, so I would be the one teaching you guys about the dynamic pricing. Okay. So that is the dynamic pricing. And lastly, we're just going to get into three reasons why people never get started within the Airbnb or with things that could change their lives forever. So if you're still in doubt, we are here to help you with the whole process. Most of the time, people will say, I don't have the money. Well, I already gave you the three levels. So what's the next excuse that you have? You can get started today in Airbnb without any money. There's no reason why, honestly, you would use or could use money as an excuse. And my question to you would be, well, how long are you going to allow that to be the reason why you can't get started? Okay. Number two, I don't have the time. Well, time is the most precious thing, one of the most precious things that we have on this planet, and you can never get time back. So, once again, how long are you going to allow that to be? How long are you going to allow your job to tell you what you're worth? Because that's all a salary is. It's telling you what you're worth to them. Okay. So, how long are you going to allow your job to tell you what you're worth? And how long are you going to allow them to tell you what you can do, when you can do it, how you can do it, how long you can do it, and so on and so forth? And then number three, I don't have the support. Many entrepreneurs do not. But that's why we are a part of a community specifically so that we can have support from other entrepreneurs. If you need support as an entrepreneur, I highly recommend, we both highly recommend that you join the morning meetup, morningmeetup.com, themorningmeetup.com. Go ahead and join it, and join a whole bunch, over 400 entrepreneurs every single morning on Zoom, Monday through Friday. We have a book club and everything else. This is not going to be a commercial for that. But I just want to let you guys know that's not an excuse to not get started. I don't have the support. Guess what? I was a single mom when we got started. All right. My family, they thought I wasn't going to keep moving forward with the Airbnb situation. They thought it was going to be a flop. And some of them still think that. And guess what? We moving it forward. We keeping it trucking with or without them. Okay? With baby in tow. Okay? So don't use I don't have the support as a reason, because you have us. All right? So, with that having been said, we thank you guys so much for joining us here today. It has been amazing. It has been wonderful. It has been all of those things and so much more. But I am going to go ahead and let J Star take us in for the final landing, because we know we gave you guys all the gems in the world tonight, but there is so much more that we can give you guys. This was just a little
Facts.
just a little taste.
Facts.
Okay. And we still gave you guys pretty much like everything in the condensed version. Okay.
Facts.
But if you want the concentrated version, J Star.
Man, listen, if y'all think that we gave y'all the game, let us know. Just make sure y'all let us know. All right. And if you think Nella dove in Just imagine what she did in the course. We talking about like step by step. We talking about, hey, go to this website and do this. Hey, this is how we actually find the properties. You know what I'm saying? Like, we give y'all the sauce in the course. All right. And of course, we go through everything on a whole nother level. We want to just kind of give you guys like the run through, but get the course. The elite BNB course, the good, the bad, the ugly of Airbnb. Like I said, we are super transparent about our journey, about our story, and we want to get that to y'all. All right, and guess what? It's 50% off. It's half off now. Oh, y'all getting a deal. Y'all getting a deal. It is half off. Go ahead, click the link. Go to it. It's in both of our bios, so it doesn't matter who page you on. Click the link in our bio. It takes you straight to the course. Go ahead and jump in. Get your Airbnb, man. Start your business. I get it. We were scared too. We was unsure. We didn't know if it was going to work. We were trying to figure it out. All right. But what I knew was that, hey, I said I want my life to look like this. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't know any rich employees. I never met one. I got parents. They're of age. They're older. And they still complain about the same bill since I was a little kid. That has told me that I got to do something different. Didn't know what the difference was. I didn't know. We're still trying to figure it out. But what I do know, going into a job and clocking in and living out somebody else's dream, because it doesn't matter what job you have, that's somebody else's dream. Somebody woke up one day and said, I'm going to start this business. We just happen to be connected with the right people, stem from a relationship started back in 2015 because we both said yes to a network marketing company. If we don't say yes to a network marketing company, we're probably not here right now, right? So my fear is always to my energy be off and I might miss that relationship with that person I'm supposed to say hi to. And that blessing I've been praying for, God's like, look, they were right there, but your head was in your phone, or your energy was off, or you was too prideful to speak, or or somebody showed you a network marketing company, you was like, nah, them things are scams, still confused about money, right? So in this course that we have taken about 4 to 5 courses. Everything that we learned from each course, there's something that we took from each course literally, and we've put into our course. And now you guys have access to that. Once again for 50% off. Don't say we did not for y'all. And if you need this, guess what? We're a phone call away. You're not going to take our course and we just gonna be like, all right, bye. No, we want to help. We want to hold your hand. We want to make sure you're successful. Oh, I didn't even mention that the course comes with 3 ebooks. 3 ebooks. One ebook is an Airbnb Essentials ebook. What does that mean? Everything that you need for your property, down to the pots and the pans, are in the ebook. And guess what? Guess who made the ebook? Now look, she made all 3 actually. You know what I'm saying? But the link, she got the links to the products in the ebooks. So guess what? It ain't like pots and pans. Oh, let me go find pots and pans. No, pots and pans. Here's the link to the pots and pans. You click the link, it takes you straight to the product. You add it to your cart. Oh, knives and silverware. Oh, it's a link for it. Let me go. Bing. Oh, this is crazy. Who thought about that? Nella did. Now I'll give her all that. She get all the credit. Another one is our resources. You get access to our lawyers, and you get access to our tax strategists. Once again, we're not hiding nothing. We're not holding nothing back from y'all. Y'all got what we get. Oh, y'all getting what we got. I said that backwards, but you know what I meant. You know what I'm saying? So, and the third one, and probably the most important one, is that we got a ebook that has 400 plus properties across the United States that allow Airbnb. Yes, we did the homework. Oh, it's crazy. All you gotta do is click on the man. Look. Oh, you want a property in Cali? Here go a couple properties you can start out with. You call them. Hey, listen, I would like to get one. You know what I'm saying? And if you get the right relationship like we did, that one property manager might own 6 properties or manage 6 properties. So guess what happens? When you want to look for another property, guess what? You ain't got to go find another person to ask. You can ask the person that you already got a yes from. Don't say wait in out for you. Good night. Good night. We love y'all. We out of here.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you guys and helping you guys out on your Airbnb journey. Good night.